Arresting more than 100 Iranian nationals just this week. More than 650 are now in ICE detention.
Iran, of course, is a threat. They have been a threat, and they always will be a threat to our country. And we are working hand in hand with all of our agencies to protect Americans and to keep us safe.
The presence in this country of undocumented migrants or Iranian nationals who have links to Hezbollah, IRGC, is, in my judgment, a domestic law enforcement concern of the highest magnitude.
Joining me now is House Foreign Affairs Committee member and New York Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis. Thank you for being here, Congresswoman. You were in the House Intelligence Briefing on Friday. What can you tell us about this threat?
Well, look, obviously, we can't discuss classified information, so there's very little that I can say, particularly about any threats. What I will say is that President Trump took a decisive action, and it was successful. They severely hurt the nuclear program. We are seeing Iran now coming to the table. We need these negotiations to be direct between the United States and Iran without an intermediary. But there has been now a de-escalation in the region. We are also hearing of countries in the region who want to join the Abraham Accords. And obviously, both Israel and Iran have reopened their airspace. And so it seems that we are in a course here for peace and prosperity in the region, but these conversations need to continue. It can't end here. And I have full faith in President Donald Trump that he's going to be the deal maker he always is. And I think coming from NATO, I think he's gained a lot of respect from world leaders who have maybe questioned his judgment or his rationale in certain decisions. Not only was he able to get European countries, at least most of them, to commit to increasing from 2% to 5% investment, but he's also the leader right now who is trying to make a deal between Ukraine and Russia as well. No other world leader is taking that role that he is in trying to bring peace and prosperity throughout the world. And so we have to continue to support him in these efforts and make sure that our military and our Homeland Security have the resources that they need. And right now, when we're going through this appropriations process, this discussion really needs to be at the forefront, for obvious reasons.
Well, it's a good point that you make, because you're right now working on the big, beautiful bill. You're expecting to get that bill next week from the Senate. Are you expecting significant revisions to the bill? You just mentioned border as well as defense, and, you know, the bill calls for more money for defense, more money for the border. But the Senate is looking for ways to cut. House Speaker Mike Johnson pushing for a vote this coming Tuesday, just 2 days before the self-imposed deadline. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told me he's optimistic. Here's what he said to me. Watch.
We are very close to a deal. It is going to help the voters in their district, but it is going to be fair for the overall American people. This is a tremendous bill, and I think we're going to be able to bring this home. The president will be signing the bill on July 4th.
So, Congresswoman, you're on the House Ways and Means Committee. You're also the Republican Conference Assistant Whip. Do you have the votes for Tuesday?
It depends what the final product actually comes back to the House with. I believe we will have the votes to do it. Now, I'm of the opinion that we shouldn't be rushing. We should actually do this right. If it takes a few more days, a few more weeks, it has to be the product that we promised that we would deliver for the American people, that is balanced when it comes to tax policy, supports our working families, our middle class, our senior citizens, and our economy. And we also have to be fair and balanced when it comes to Medicaid, making sure we're protecting our most vulnerable and also rooting out the waste, fraud, and abuse, ensuring illegal immigrants aren't benefiting. As you mentioned, also the border security piece is key here, particularly at this moment. I think that the House version was a really good product. And so you're hearing a lot of messaging from the House and the president to take as much of the House product as you can. I think that's the key, because when you have 218 votes that are needed in a very slim majority in the House of Representatives, any changes can really be destructive to this piece of legislation. So I am optimistic that we will get the job done. It is critical for our economy. This is pro-growth, pro-jobs, pro-family, pro-middle-class policies. Let's get it done and allow the American people to prosper and benefit from it.
Yeah, I mean, you can only afford 3 no votes. And I know there's a complex set of issues, from SALT to SNAP. Medicaid, and others. Are there any other issues that I've missed that you all are debating?
I think those are the main pieces. Those are the ones where we're seeing disagreements. But remember, the House was able to pass a version of this bill that garnered support from across the political spectrum, which is why I say the House is the proper balance. And you're hearing more and more members from the House of Representatives, as well as the White House itself, saying, pass the House bill or pass something close to it. Don't mess with it too much, because then you upset the entire apple cart. Again, we had a balanced policy here. I think that was really good for the American people. It's good for our economy. And again, the alternative, we all know, $4 trillion in increases. It will be damning for families, where they'll see standard deduction cut in half, the child tax credit cut in half, income tax rates will go up. So we need to make sure that we get this job done with enough time so the American economy can prosper from it. We saw significant revenue come in just the first year of the TCJA. We never saw the full potential because of COVID, right? So we know that what we're trying to do here will be very good for our economy. We'll grow our GDP, we'll bring back domestic manufacturing, and we'll create jobs and lift American wages and lower people's taxes. Again, we're focused on the middle class, our seniors and working people who are really struggling to get by, and they will benefit from this bill.
Yeah, I wonder if some of your colleagues who were, on the fence about the bill have decided to join President Trump and make sure to support him after the week that he's had, from the Iran strikes to NATO, to an agreement with China and the Democratic Republic of Congo. But I digress. I want to get your take on New York and New York City getting attention for who may be New York City next mayor. Current and controversial mayor Eric Adams looking for 4 more years and calling his rival Zohran Mamdani a snake oil salesman. Mamdani is a Democrat socialist coming under fire even from members of his own party for his comments on Israel and his far-left views. And then there's Andrew Cuomo. Questions as to whether or not he will return to the race after a stunning defeat in the primary. I spoke with the former governor, and Cuomo told me directly that he is still likely going to run as an independent in November. But New York business and developers are focused on Mamdani. It's capitalism versus socialism. Are you concerned that we're going to see a mass exodus if this socialist wins the mayor's race in November?
Well, absolutely. And my mother fled communist Cuba not to live in a communist New York. This guy is anti-capitalism. He's anti-law enforcement. He supports illegal mass migration. He is anti-Semitic. There is so many things wrong with this candidate, not to mention he's only been a citizen of this country for 7 years. How can you run the most powerful economic engine city of our nation and the largest city in the world with such little experience at 33 years old? The bottom line is we need to figure out a way to unite Republicans, independents, conservatives, common sense Democrats behind one candidate and make sure that that candidate defeats. Now, I've supported Curtis Sliwa. If Curtis chooses to stay in, he's got experience with the transit system, with homelessness, with public safety. He knows this city inside out. He would make a great candidate. And if you have a 4-way race where you have 3 Democrats splitting the vote, it is very possible that that Republican gets in with just 30% of the vote. So we have to do some polling and see exactly where we're at right now with this new shakeup and these candidates, and see who is the best possible person to rally behind to make sure that Mamdani is defeated, because he will be dangerous. He will drive out businesses, capital, tax revenue, families from our city, and we're already struggling as it is. Number one, he says that his favorite mayor, the best mayor of his life, has been Bill de Blasio. So that just shows you where he'd take this city. And his policies and rhetoric and positions are much worse and much more to the left than Bill de Blasio.
Well, he probably wasn't really paying attention to any other mayor. I mean, Bill de Blasio was the last mayor before Mayor Adams. So, I mean, he's 33. Anyway, Nicole Malliotakis, great to see you, Congresswoman. Thank you.
Thank you.